Alright folks, it is time for my UFC 216 Ferguson versus Lee predictions. Alright, so this is the first major event we're going to have in Las Vegas since, all that unfortunate stuff happened on Sunday. Well, no, hold on. Yeah, it is, because the Golden Knights don't have their first home game until Tuesday. So yeah, this is the first major event in Las Vegas since, that whole massacre deal. So it's probably going to be a very unusual UFC show. You don't really see a lot of, I don't know, like socially sort of cognizant stuff for the UFC product, but I think you'll probably see a lot of it here. So it's going to be an interesting show. I mean, just considering the circumstances of what's going on in the world. So, I mean, that alone is probably worth getting the card to check out. But on the whole, it's a better than average card. I mean, let's don't lie to ourselves and say it's really, really good, because it isn't. But it's one of the better we've had this year, and might as well check it out anyway. Alright, so our main event, another interim title matchup for the interim lightweight title and possibly a chance to fight Conor McGregor at some point down the line. Tony Ferguson, number 2, taking on number 7, Kevin Lee. Just looking at the stats here. Height advantage for Ferguson. Reach advantage slot for Kevin Lee. Leg reach advantage for Ferguson. Just going down through all the stats real quick. That's easier. So, significant strikes landed per minute. Tony Ferguson landed 5.23 compared to 3.6 for Kevin Lee. Accuracy favors Ferguson. Strikes absorbed per minute actually gives a tilt towards Lee, so he's a little bit better defensively. Although, Tony Ferguson, to be fair, is defending 65% of the strikes against him compared to 53% for Kevin. So, take of that what you will. Takedown, it definitely is one-sided. Kevin Lee averaging 3.48 takedowns per fight compared to 0.71 for Ferguson. Takedown accuracy, pretty much even. Takedown defense, slight tilt towards Ferguson. Submission average, dead even at 153 apiece. So on the surface, this appears to be a very, very competitive little matchup. Kevin Lee, obviously the better grappler, better wrestler. Tony Ferguson, though, probably the better striker. Submission game is an absolute dead kill. And defense, again, can go either way. I mean, you saw the details for yourself. I mean, Ferguson better defensive, basically like eating more punches per fight. Kevin Lee a little bit more apprehensive. So it should be good. I expect him to go a full 5 rounds. I don't know, I got a feeling this is going to be one of those iffy decisions. It's going to be controversial no matter what. But at this point, I'm going to say Tony Ferguson is the better overall fighter, and I think this might be one of those fights where it comes down to just who lands the most strikes. And in that capacity, I'm going to go with Ferguson. So I'm going to take Tony to win this one. 5-round split decision. Alright, in the co-main event, which was the main event that never happened for the last pay-per-view, Demetrius Johnson taking on Ray Borg. You can look at the stats for yourself. Height, pretty much even. Reach advantage, slight tilt towards Johnson. Yeah, just read that on your own. You can freeze frame the video and check stuff out there. But, yeah, I haven't changed my mind since last time. Demetrius Johnson's going to win this fight. It's just a matter of how. I think Ray Borg is going to get out there a little bit longer than most people expect. Like, I don't think he's going to get finished in the first round or even the second round. I think this will probably end up crawling into the early 4th round, but eventually Johnson gets a rear naked choke submission. And that sets up Johnson's Judo 2, which should be pretty entertaining. But yeah, Johnson goes in there, he gets his record-breaking title defense, and we move along our merry way. Fabricio Verdum taking on Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis, of course, the best Twitterer in all of MMA, 2 best unofficial stat. Taking on the KG Verdum. Let's see, height pretty much equal, reach slight tilt towards Lewis. Striking data, wow, very, very close. Takedown favors Verdum. Well, this one seems pretty straightforward. I mean, Derek Lewis, he's you're pretty much your stereotypical, ham and egg puncher. Just goes in there to start banging, and hopefully you go to not before you realize what state you're in. So I mean, Lewis obviously is the kind of guy who goes in there and he tries to finish as fast as possible. Not a really good gas tank, conditioning not that great. Verdum He's been doing this forever. He can fight for, 25 minutes, no problem. So the question is, do I think Derek Lewis can knock out Verdum in the first round? Nope. Well, I mean, he can technically, but I think Verdum, he's got too much experience. He beat Cain Velasquez, probably the best striker we've ever seen in the heavyweight division, and he beat them pretty handily. He did get drubbed by Stipe Miocic, though, so that's something to think of. But Stipe Miocic's a way better striker than Derek Lewis. Yeah, I think Verdum wins this one. I think he wins by a late third round submission, something really funky. We don't see it too often. I want to say he wins by a Darce choke. So that's it, submission in third for Verdum. Moving along, we've got Mara Romero Barella, because Marilla Gorilla wasn't available, taking on Kalindra Feria. And that's what I love about all these, Italian and Brazilian names. They all rhyme. It just has a really great vibe to it. Not gonna lie to you, I don't know a whole lot about either of these two girls, so they don't even have pictures really. And they got elevated at the last second in the main card. This one's really a wash. I would be an absolute charlatan if I tried to give you advice on something I know absolutely nothing about. So I'm gonna say go with Barella to win this one by decision, because as you can see here, the official UFC stats, 69-inch reach advantage compared to 0 inches because her opponent doesn't have arms. But you gotta, no leg reach either. You gotta wonder, just how did someone without limbs make it this far in the UFC, especially in the main card of a pay-per-view, but neither here nor there. Beneil Dariush taking on Evan Dunham in the most curtain-jerky match in the history of UFC ever. Look at the stats here, pretty even as far as those metrics go. Strikes landed per minute favors Dunham by a considerable margin. You might remember when Evan Dunham was considered a top lightweight prospect, we thought he was gonna get a title shot. That was what, 2011, 2012? That was 5 or 6 years ago. Man, what happened to him? It's one of those things that falls through the cracks of time. Yeah, I really got nothing on this one. I'm not that interested in it. Nothing Darius wins when he plays a very safe and boring and conservative fight, and he just gets a unanimous decision out of this one. Nothing too exciting there. Alright, very quickly we're going to go through the FX and the Fight Pass prelim matches. Tom DeKisney taking on Cody Stamann. Tom DeKisney, he is a man. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with as he gets older. Both these guys land an insane amount. Almost 7 significant strikes landed per minute for each guy. So these guys like to bang. Yeah, I think DeKisney wins this one by second round. I think he wins it by second round TKO. But it should be entertaining. Stick around for that one. Will Brooks taking on Nick Lentz. All about Nick Lentz, he's one of the very few vocal Donald Trump supporters in MMA, and also he has quite the impressive bulge right there, not there, coincidental. Looks like he's like a baboon, in his pants right there. It's weird, very unusual outline. But that's neither here nor there. We don't focus on that. We're here about just picking the fights. We don't care about bulges. So yeah, looking at the stats here, advantage for Will Brooks. Pretty heavy on the reach advantage. Single strikes per minute goes towards Brooks. Takedown favors Nick Lentz. I don't know. Will Brooks is the better striker. Nick Lentz is the better wrestler. So usually in that scenario you go with the wrestler, but I don't know. Nick Lentz has really bad takedown defense too, so that's another problem. This really should have been probably the main card matchup instead of Darius Dunham, now that I think about it. I'm going to go Will Brooks to win by a unanimous decision. I just think he's able to kind of weather the storm. He won't be taken down. He'll just shrug him off and win on points. Lando Veneta taking on Bobby Green. Groovy versus King. Man, that sounds like a great 1970s blaxploitation movie. So yeah, both these guys land a lot of strikes per minute. Should be pretty entertaining. I'm going to go with Veneta. He's going to win by unanimous decision. Just real simple. Like I said, we're doing quick picks for this one. Nothing to get too excited about. Pearl Gonzalez taking on Polyana Botelho. I'm going to call her Botelho, even if that's not how you pronounce it. Well, I mean, what can you say about this one? I don't know anything about either of the fighters, so once again, I'm going to be a complete, charlatan to say anything about this, but I'm just going to go with Gonzalez because I like her perm. I love girls with perms. This is one of my things, so she automatically gets my vouch, and she wins by split decision. Very, very quickly, Fight Pass. We got to go through these. Walt Harris taking on Mark Godbeer. Again, you can just freeze frame this if you want and make your own conclusion about the statistics. I'm going to go with Walt Harris. He's going to win by knockout in the second round. John Marega taking on Magomed Bibulatov. Quick look at the stats. I'm going to go with Marega because he's more experienced. He wins by unanimous decision. Chels Litez taking on Brad Tavares. Wow, this is a very 2009-ish sounding fight. I'm going to go with Litez because he's more experienced. He's been fighting forever. He'll just drum out another decision victory. And open up the entire show, Marco Beltran taking on Matt Schnell. Not really familiar with a lot of these two guys, but just looking at the stats and their records, I'm going to go with Beltran, second round, TKO. Alright, well, those are my picks for UFC 216. Feel free to take them to the bank, wager them online, do whatever you want. I'm just looking forward to a pretty decent night of fights. I'll see you cage side Saturday, and carry on. All you can do, just carry on.